What's up, everybody? Welcome to an episode of Smart Minds, Good Times. Today I have a very special guest, Feli. Say what's up.
What up, what up? It's your boy Feli the God. What's going on?
I appreciate you for coming on today.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
How's your day going?
You know, it's another day, another dollar.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
be mad at it. You know, I want to take a second to shout y'all out, man. Y'all platform been growing crazy.
Yeah, it's been crazy recently.
It's definitely a cool setup, cool vibe. Like, I can see this taking off, so I want to, shout y'all out for having me, for real.
I appreciate that. It means a lot. So, usually with all our guests, we like to get a little bit background.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, were you born here in Richmond?
So, I was born in Richmond. I grew up in the country, a place called Louisa, like not far from here. Maybe
Okay,
like
I know where Louisa is, yeah.
Yeah, I moved to Richmond maybe like 9 years ago, almost 9 years ago when my daughter was born, and I just kind of been here ever since.
Okay.
Just been rocking since then.
What you like better, the country or like the urban side?
I guess since I'm getting older now, being a parent, stuff like that, the country be seeming cool.
Yeah.
But every time I go out and visit my pops and stuff like that, I miss the fact that it's too dark, man.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
But it's like you get that property out there.
Man, it sound cool till you got to go 20 minutes to the store.
Yeah.
Nah, I can just walk out on my front porch and I can see the store, so I'm straight.
That's true. You ever did any hunting?
I have.
Yeah?
I have, yeah. Hunting deer. I done been like mud bogging and all type of like country shit. But I don't know, I guess I'm a city boy now,
So you grew up out there in Louisa then, right?
Yeah.
What was like the nearest high school out there?
Louisa County High School, where we had one high school, 3 elementary schools, and 1 middle school.
In that whole county?
Yeah.
Damn. So Louisa's not that big of a county?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of like, it's gone up, and I guess you would say like expanded. Like
Yeah.
It's bigger, but it's not like here where like you might have like 4 high schools within like a couple miles of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that.
So what would you say, like, what was everybody else that came on? I don't think anybody else really grew up in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So what was life like growing up, like as a kid?
I mean, I feel like no matter where you at, like you have like your urban aspects. You feel me? Like we had apartment complexes and shit like that. They would get busy, but you also would have like, you got like I had like redneck homies growing up, but I also had like, what you would consider, I guess, like hood homies, even though they was in the country.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, so I got a little bit of everything. I think it prepared me to be able to kind of deal with anybody. So, it was cool. Like, I can't be mad at it. It was kind of a quiet to an extent.
Yeah.
But then you also not far from the city. Like, I spent like maybe a year living in Petersburg too.
Okay, yeah.
When I was like hella young, like maybe like 12. So,
Okay.
I've always just kind of got a taste of everything for real.
What was like something that happened in your childhood that like just crazy or you will never forget?
Shit.
It could be anything. It could be a fight, a crazy moment.
I ain't lie, I was about to make a dark joke, but it ain't,
Dark.
it ain't time. Nah, for real, I would say, shit. Thing I'll never forget. That's a hard one. I guess going through shit like family-wise, like I come from like a broken home. Like I talk about that sometimes in the music, at least some of the older shit. So like that really took a toll on me growing up.
Yeah.
It really fucked with like my love life and shit like that for years. It make it hard to trust anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that split household shit and like, parents going through it and, some parents may be saying too much, some parents may be saying too little.
Yeah.
I still kind of deal with that with them. But now that I'm older, I can just be like, man, get the fuck off my phone, man. I ain't got time for this shit.
You think that made you mature a lot faster?
I feel like I wouldn't say mature. I feel like at first it made me worse for a while. Like,
Okay.
I've said in music before, like I felt like my parents' divorcing like made me hate love, made me hate women to an extent without even thinking about it. Like I feel like when you go through like, at least in my situation, after that, like I went through like a lot of, I wouldn't even say relationships, if you get what I'm saying, but I went through like a lot of women, you know what I'm saying?
Situationships.
Yeah, and it's like, you don't even realize that you just hurting people and you don't give a fuck. And you don't even realize what that shit's tied to. You feel me? But then I got older and I'm like, all right, I'm doing this shit for a reason. And yeah, nah.
What about like high school life? What was it like?
Shit, high school was cool.
Were you the scholar? Were you the class clown? Were you the troublemaker?
I was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of a quiet kid till I got to like maybe like 16.
Okay.
Because I graduated at 17. I graduated early. So, yeah, 17. So, I started rapping when I was like maybe right after like 16, I want to say. And that was around the time that like I started getting in the weight room and shit. So, I dropped a bunch of weight and like it was up from there.
So,
when did bitches and the whole nine.
When did you want to start making music? Like, was that something you want to do as a child, or like it just clicked to you at the time?
I mean, my pops used to DJ.
Yeah.
I got a lot of music like in my family. Like my brother PD, I came in with. He rapped. And we used to run a group and a label and stuff. Like I got cousins. One of my cousins was signed to like the Osley Brothers. He was like an R&B singer. Like so, it's always been in my family. I think what really got me into it, I found a rap one time that my dad wrote.
Oh yeah.
And I was like 10, and I seen it, and I thought that shit was cool as hell.
Yeah.
And I used to write poetry, and then one day from there, I was just like, fuck it, like I want to rap.
Yeah.
And I like just started writing to like songs I like to listen to. Like I would just play the song and just write over the beat. And then one day I just started recording, and it's been up from there. Like I was the first person in my area to ever have a SoundCloud.
Oh yeah.
And then I was the first person to ever have a popping SoundCloud in that area. Like
yeah.
it just took up from there.
What year was that when you started making music?
Shit, I'm about to age this shit out myself. 20. Nah, that was about to be hella wrong. 2010.
2010. So at that time, it was like, I guess that was like the Lil Wayne and Drake was just hitting the music scene there, right?
Yeah.
What were like some rappers that inspired you at that time?
Truthfully, the rappers that inspired me the most, like ever, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like, I've always been a huge fan. I was more into like R&B music. Like I like Anthony Hamilton, Lauryn Hill. Like, like I said, my dad was a DJ, so like it was records all through my crib. Like I listened to Dougie Fresh. I might hear some KRS-One. Like I might hear a little bit of everything. So country music.
Yeah.
My grandmother's Italian, so my dad, like I might hear like, old Italian stuff. Like just I love it. Shit. Even now, one of my favorite songs is Suavemente by what is his name? Something Crisp.
Is that the Spanish song?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Suavemente. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
That's how I learned how to bachata. I know how to bachata and all that. That's how I learned that. Yeah. Spanish women, they taught me a lot. They taught me a lot.
Yeah, no, Spanish women is where it's at. Hey. Do you remember your first ever song you recorded when you were like 16, 17? Like, it could have been on your phone or.
I think my first ever song that was like a real recording, I did it with a dude I grew up with. I've known him since we was like 4 or 5 years old. He a rapper too. Shout out Leak 3 Stacks. It was just like a random freestyle. Like, I just went to his crib. His dad had a studio. We recorded it. And from there, I was just like, fuck it. I fuck with this. Like, it was cool because nobody was doing it then. You feel me? Like, you might have people doing it, but they was older than us. Like, it wasn't really like teenagers who was in school who was like making music.
Yeah.
Like, now anybody can get to anything.
Oh, there's 6-year-olds now making music. The little kid.
Man, little RT or whatever. Yeah. They're getting crazy too. But, like, back then it was not that easy to have access to. So, once we started doing it, it was like the coolest shit going. Like, so yeah, I think that was 2010, I want to say, yeah.
Yeah, no, damn, it's like at that time, what technology did you guys have? Because, I mean, I think at that time, that's when I first had like my first ever iPad, but.
Shit, back then it was like USB mics and.
Yeah, right.
I think I recorded like my first freestyle on an iPhone. I was the first kid I ever knew that had an iPhone. I had the first one, the little round back shit.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get pictures texted to you. Like, you had to get them shit sent via email. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah, so I got on the little microphone shit, and I would just start rapping. So, like, yeah, the equipment was not hitting. Like,
when you first started rapping, did you see it as something like a hobby, or like, yo, this is something I really want to like pursue as a career?
I mean,
or you just go with the flow?
A little bit of both, I guess. Like, sports was always my life. I played football and shit like that. So I always thought that was going to be the thing. And then I fucked my knee up when I was like 15. And I was in the hospital, and I kind of thought about rapping just because I thought it'd be a cool thing to pass the time. Because, like I said, I used to write poetry.
Yeah.
And then when I got into it, it was like, all right, I'm going to take it serious, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But then once I started seeing, like, the feedback, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was getting, for us back then, 500-600 streams in a day was like, oh, yeah, we finna blow the fuck up. You feel me? But you just see it like in that small area, in that small little shell, and it's like, all right, maybe we can do something. You feel me? And then when we moved here, it just really went up. Because like I said, becoming a parent and shit like that, it changes your whole mindset. So I was like, all right, like, we really got to make this shit pop.
At what age did you have your kid?
What was that? That was 20. Because she'll be 9 in August. So, yeah, I was 20 years old.
That's pretty young for having a kid.
Yeah, I mean.
What was your situation like at the time? What did you?
Shit, we was ripping and running. Life comes at you fast. I mean, I didn't plan on having a child. Like, that was not in the books for me. But it slowed me down, like, for real. And it made me realize, like, your life is deeper than just, like, what's going on tomorrow. You feel me? So at that point, it was like, all right, like, are we going to do something with this? Or, are we just having fun?
And at that point, you have a bigger purpose than you at that time with your daughter. Is a daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, once that situation happens and it's like, all right, the whole purpose changes. So, at that point, we was just like, fuck it, like, let's do this for real. So, and for us, I think one thing that kind of helped is that, like, we didn't know how to find labels. Like, nobody was hitting us back. We couldn't afford shit. Like, we was living out on the West. We was barely making ends meet. Sometimes we weren't making the business meet. So I had to learn cover art. He learned how to shoot videos. We recorded ourselves. We did everything ourselves, promotion, the whole nine, to where, like, years down the road, we made hella money doing it because we taught ourselves. You feel me?
Yeah, and that's the little shit you got to do that separates y'all from other people.
Nah, facts.
At that point, it's like y'all becoming your own, like you said, your own videographers, your own producers. It's like, that's what you got to do. Yeah. If not, you're just going to keep paying out of pocket.
Bro, a lot of people don't like the struggle. You feel me? And, like, I won't say we like the struggle, but, like, you learn to appreciate what it builds, I
feel like it builds character, too.
For sure. Like, there's nothing I can't handle in this point in my life.
Yeah.
Because I remember them times where, shit, it was hella rough. We in an apartment, we ain't even got furniture in the living room, but we just doing it. You just living.
Yeah. And those lessons you learn, it's not really what you go through, it's the principle.
Right.
You're able to apply that to something else. Like, oh, shit, I've already been through that. I know how to handle it.
Facts.
How long do you think it took you for, like, from, let's say, when you first started making music to the point where, like, oh, shit, like, your first, like, hit song, or, like, that moment where you're like, okay, this is starting to pick up traction?
I'd say for us, it was, I always say us because I just include, like, we did a lot of stuff together, so I'm always, include my brother Petey. Shout out Petey. But shit, I would say probably when we moved up here. We started, like I said, we couldn't afford nothing, especially with paying all the rent and everything I was doing. So it was like, all right, we're gonna do it ourselves. So we just started uploading videos to Facebook, and at that point, like, Facebook will let you tag like 100 people, as corny as it was, but if you getting love, you getting love. So we tagging people, putting them in Facebook groups, stuff like that. And then videos, start doing 5,000-6,000 in a day. And then I had one that did like 25,000. I did a freestyle to the Tiger song, Master Suite. And we shot the video. And I mean, the video's terrible. But, for the time, for what we had going, we was like, shit, this shit's smoking. Yeah. So we dropped that joint. And like I said, I think it did like 20,000, 25,000 in a day. And I was like, shit. All right, fuck it, let's keep pumping the content out. Like, we didn't know what the fuck content was. Just like, fuck it, it's hitting, so let's see what it's hitting. Like,
yeah, it's like, right, your let's just say, like, your hit song came out in 2020?
So
2019, am I wrong?
If you're talking about, we had a song called "Oh My God," that was like,
yeah, I think it's that one.
Hella lit in the underground, like. For a couple years there, like, you could go to shows anywhere in the city underground, and like people knew word for word. Shit, we had mosh pits, like full crowds, like that shit was crazy. I
saw on your Instagram page. I believe it was like one of your first posts. You were saying, like, it's a song that really changed my life. Mm-hmm. Well, that song was "Oh My God," right?
No. So the song you're talking about was called "Missed Calls."
Missed Calls.
Yeah, that's the first song for, like, me and, like, by myself.
Okay.
We had a song called "Oh My God" that did like 700 and something thousand, and back, like, even in 2019, 2020, that was still like, you won't see that often.
Oh yeah, that's still, that 700,000 is a shit ton of streams.
I mean, like, I guess I always look at it, since it's me, it's like, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, so back with that, but then Missed Calls was like, because at that time my Instagram was booming, like, I was getting like 1,000 followers a day, and then I posted that, and it just that shit skyrocketed. Like, that was my first 100,000 views on YouTube. Like, that shit went crazy. That shit, people still fuck with that song.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, how many songs do you think you've made so far?
Like,
ever recorded, not put out, but ever recorded? Because
truthfully, probably not a ridiculous amount. Like, I would say maybe 150, something like that. 150 between there.
Out of those 100, 150, which one would you say is, like, your favorite record? The one that somebody, like, you tell somebody you're rapping, like, oh damn, like, what's the song? The one you'd recommend to them?
That depends, cause I don't know. I always have, like, recency bias. You feel me? So like me and I know you had F&F Chop on here. Me and him got a record.
I saw that. We were listening to that song. That's just hard.
Appreciate you. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Shout out Chop. Me and him go back a little bit. Shit. I mean, there's a few, like, I can't really pinpoint, just because you never know, like, what somebody likes listening to.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I got a song called Stand Alone. Shout out KFK made it. He produced that. That song's hard, but it's like depending on what you catch from me, you're gonna get a completely different vibe than what you just heard. You feel me? Like, it just really depends on, because I make music based on where I'm at in that moment in my life. Yeah. So if I'm feeling up and life's great and, you know, the money hitting and everything's just going right, then you're gonna hear some turn shit. But if I'm down and I'm just not really in that mode, like, you're gonna hear that. You feel me?
Well, that's good though. At least it makes your music real and authentic. It's not like you're portraying an image. Like,
right.
If, let's just say you were down and you say like, "Oh yeah, I'm turned right now," then
right.
It's not.
I mean, because I feel like at that point it's work, and like,
yeah,
if you turn music into work, it gets hard to continue to love it.
Yeah, you know, when was the first time you ever performed?
Shit, about around the time I started making my first few songs.
Really?
It was this platform called Afton Booking, right? And I didn't know nothing about booking. I didn't know nothing about shit. I just found them somehow on the internet, and they had this spot. It was called Kingdom Downtown. It's called something else now. I can't remember what they turned it into. But like, they would get these little venues and they would have artists come out and perform, but you had to like sell a certain amount of tickets. If you didn't sell any, they wouldn't let you perform.
Okay.
We didn't sell shit. We high school kids. Like, we were just like, fuck it, we're gonna go out there and see if they let us perform.
Yeah.
And they would still let us rock. And they would be like 20, 25 people in the building. Most of them are other rappers. But it was cool because in them early experiences, I kind of learned like to kind of get over that whole like
stage fright.
Like, I used to wear sunglasses on stage.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? Like, just so I couldn't like, I could hide behind that shit.
Yeah.
You know, now like I'm so seasoned with it, like, you know, I look everybody in the eyes when I perform because it's about connecting. Like, anybody can stand on stage and act like they're cooler than everybody in the room. Fuck all that. Like, I want you to see like, oh, this motherfucker just sweat on me and I'm in the front row. Like, shit, he getting crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's like, what would you say? Like, how many times do you think you've ever performed? Is it too many to count? Or?
Shit, that might be more than the songs, to be
honest.
Yeah, I would say, shit, I know you're not getting interviewed, but you had to go around about, what do you think? We've been performing for, like
500-600 shows.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And that's like out of state, in-state, city, out of like, it's been.
You know, doing 500-600 shows, I know you can't really remember each one detail to detail, but which one is like one of your favorite ones? It could have been like a crazy venue, crazy crowd, best energy.
I got two that stand out, like just straight out. We performed at the National with Jacquees one time.
Oh yeah, did you open up for him?
I don't even feel like it was an opening up kind of thing. It was more like we went on like right before him. So I think there had been like people before that, but I didn't even find out about it until like 2-3 hours before. Like, I was at the salon getting my dreads retwisted, and my brother Carson, shout out to him, he called me. He's like, "Yo, I need you here in like 2 hours." And I'm like, "Nigga, I got to go hop a flight to LA in 3 hours."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Look, I need you." So hopped under the dryer, hopped out, got dressed, ran down to the National, went in the back door, went up the steps, and ran right on stage. And it was like 3,000 people there. And it was cool because it was a moment where it was just like, damn, like, you know, I'm on stage, all my people on stage. Yeah. You know, so many people in the crowd that know us from social media, from other shows. Like, it was just a hell of a vibe. And then I would say the other show, there used to be a platform in the city, an underground platform, that gave a lot of people a lot of attention, that we helped build. You know, if you know me, you already know, so I don't really gotta. But one of the shows that stands out, we had a show one time, and it was like the first time where I could look into the crowd and we didn't have to say a word. Like, every song, because we had two songs that were really, we would do back to back that everybody knew. One was "Oh My God" and one was "Yellow Buses." And we made rage music at the time. So like, the hooks was catchy, the beats was hard hitting, and all the other artists, all the crowd people, everybody knew it. So like, looking out in the crowd and everybody's rapping that shit, and you see nothing but lights, and the whole floor looked like it's moving. Yeah. Like, and it'd be like a packed out bar, but that's still, you know, 300-400 people. Like, so yeah, I think that was the most surreal. Like, both of those. Like,
what is like the farthest show you've done? Have you like maybe
I would say
California?
I would say actually Cleveland, probably.
Cleveland, okay.
Yeah, I performed in Cleveland. This was not a great performance by ADVs, but I performed in Cleveland kind of early on. I opened up for Agoff, who used to be signed to Soulja Boy. Okay. And like Chopper was there and shit like that. And I think that's the furthest that I can think of off the top of my head. I never performed in Cali, but I shot videos in Cali and like network and shit like that. But Yeah, I think Cleveland was probably my furthest one.
Yeah. Did you ever meet any like other celebrities, other rappers, other like cool people out there doing
Um,
shows?
I mean, I've met a few mainly through social media,
Yeah.
like, but I would say like, I've had conversations or like dealings with like people like Chapo, my homie Gunn, who signed to Ray Strummer. Shit. Bro, honestly, like I'm drawing a hell of a blank, but there's like so many, like,
Yeah.
because you just run across people in certain situations, like you don't really, you be in these like environments in these areas, and you're like, oh, all right, like you'd be surprised when people know you. At least I do. You feel me? Like even popping people in the city, like I said, I got a relationship with Chop. I've met like G Sambo before. I had like an interview, like we kind of met each other in passing. So like yeah, I met a lot of people. You just kind of I don't know, just kind of still be surreal even at this spot.
Yeah.
Like I never really get used to like people knowing me and shit like that.
I feel that. It's like, like here in Richmond, what do you think about the Richmond music scene?
I think people. I'm trying to find the right way to put this. Like I don't know. I think there's negativity sometimes, and it's based around drawing more attention, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'll see like blogs might post like, oh, is this dead, or do people even listen to A, B, C, and D? When in reality, like when I see a blog post somebody, even if I've never heard of them in my life, I go to their page. Like I check the music out. Like I see what's going on. I'll comment like, yo, I just checked you out. Hey man, this was smooth. Like it's not my flavor, whatever. But like I fuck with you. Keep going. Like you feel me? Like I'm not preaching that whole unity. Let's come together. Nah, that's just not realistic. But what I'm preaching is like shit. Like give a nigga a chance. You might fuck around and like it. Like if you don't, oh well. Like but you might fuck around and like it. Like there's a lot of people whose stuff I play. Like Stay Solid Rocky, his last project, shout out to him. I don't think it was the last one, but it was like one right after he got signed. I played that project 24/7. Like we were just talking about that earlier. Played it all the time. Project was hard. Chop's project, I'm on his new project. I play that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Who was Chop, right? I seen that.
Yeah, I'm on that joint. Like, so it's cool. Like, I met like J. Roddy Rod. Like, I fuck with him. It's just cool. Like, I like to try to be in tune with other people's music because you never know what you're gonna like. Like, it's not about the fact that we in the same city. If the music hard, the music hard. Like,
and at the same time, it like keeps a good image of you. That if people ever hear your name or they see you, like, oh yeah, this guy, he showed me some love before, or like it keeps you a better image. It opens doors. It doesn't close them.
Nah, for sure. I mean, I do feel like a lot of times, depending on the people, some people won't even like. You could have done a million things for him in the past, and they, your name comes in like, oh fuck, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really do it for that, but it's more so just like shit. Like if somebody would have gave me a chance earlier, you never know where I'd be. So shit, fuck it. Let me give you a chance. Let me check you out.
Yeah. When it comes to your music, how do you go about like writing it? Is it like actually making a song? Like, who's your producer? How do you go about? Do you freestyle it? Do you write it?
Truthfully, it depends. Like I said, depending on the content of the music, it depends on what kind of process I get into.
Yeah.
Like I may have it, sometimes like my homie First Place Rich, shout out to him. We've done a lot of work. He produced this on me and Chop got, we got a lot of work together. We've worked together and we're friends outside of music, so we know each other for a grip. So he'll just send me beats that he know like I'm gonna probably fuck with.
Yeah.
And I might sit on them for a month before I even touch them, and then. All right, boom, I'm in that mode. I feel like writing. I might have freestyled something that got me lit back up. All right, and I'm going to knock out 4 or 5 songs. Or like, I just did a song with Key Money. Shout out to him.
You just posted it.
Yeah, I posted that snippet. Yeah. And like that just came from being at a little networking joint. We met each other. I ain't even, like I said, I'd be oblivious. I ain't even know bro knew who the fuck I was. Like he up. So, he's one of the people who started RVA Drill.
Yeah.
I ain't know bro knew who I was. So when he like, we should have been worked. I'm like, shit, nigga was locking in. So it just be where I'm at in that moment. Like it really, there is no set formula for me. It's just kind of like I just like to let it all flow because if I'm forcing it, I'm gonna hate it. So there's no point.
Yeah, it's like here in Richmond, I know it's very hard to like. I've heard it's really hard to get performances in from other artists. But when was the last time you performed here in Richmond? Was it a while ago? Was it recently?
I think the last time I performed here in Richmond. Shit, it was probably not too long after the pandemic.
Okay.
I took a little time off. I was really ready to give music up.
I watched the interview you did. I think it was the one with, it might have been with, I don't know, it was the one with DJ Smalls or the other one. You talked about how you wanted to take a break.
Yeah, it was after that because I did that one like years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it was some not too long ago stuff, and it was just
It was the one on Viral Virginia. I think you were talking about.
yeah. Shout out Viral Virginia. I fuck with them too. Hard body. Them my people. They always show me love.
He's coming on next week.
Bro, that's not homie. He posted
Yeah.
me one. This is off topic, but he posted me during the pandemic. I had took a video. With, I found a Trump hat in my homie's car.
You was kissing it, right?
Nah, hell nah. Nigga, what? Nah, I took that joint.
That's what he said. I thought.
Nah, I took it and I threw it in the toilet and I pissed on it.
Oh, pissing
And
that. I thought he said
posted it.
kissing.
Nah, yeah, I pissed on it and I posted it. And on my page, that shit did like 150,000 views. And then he posted it, and that was the first time I really like locked in with him.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like, oh yeah, like that's the homie. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like that, it was just like, I don't know. I just took a step back. Like I had a lot of personal shit going on.
Yeah.
Dealing with, I have bipolar disorder and I don't be taking medicine and shit. So I be kind of like in and out mentally. And it was just a lot of bad energy around me. And I just I shut down. I mean, I went from being happy every day, around a bunch of people, everybody love you, to like one day it's just the complete opposite. And I didn't handle it well. So I took, damn near 2 years. Like, I would drop a song here or there. I'd post something here or there, still put money behind it. But I just really went into a shell, like a depression. And
It's just your passion, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just loved it. I lost the love for damn near everything. Like, it was just work, home. I go to the gym. I got into streaming, like Twitch and stuff, which kind of brought me back into like a love for creativity. Like I stream like Fortnite and Madden and shit like that.
You still do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Any of you rappers want to get that Madden work, let me know. But yeah, man, it was just I just didn't love it no more. And if I don't love it, what's the point?
You could go back like now that it's like past that phase. You could go back and give yourself like a piece of advice at the time. What do you think that'd be?
Value yourself. I put too much value into how everyone else felt about me. I got to the point where everybody named mama love you. And it's like, once that flips, like, I just didn't know how to handle it. And it was hard. Like, it was hella hard. And I was alone as fuck. And, like, I didn't know how to be alone. And, now if I could go back, I'd tell myself, like, shit, being alone made me so much better. Like, I be by myself 24/7 now, and I love it. It's
like,
peaceful.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, if you can't be happy with yourself or by yourself, you're not fucking happy. You feel me?
That's true. Why do you think people maybe I'm not saying change their opinions about you, but like I said, it's just flipped. Do you think maybe it's like one of those things where like, oh, he was popping a lot more now he's not popping as much, and it's like, oh, or like, was it like something you might have done to them, or
some of it's a long story. Some of it I don't really want to.
It's personal, right?
Yeah, but I think more so it was like, for me, I think in certain aspects, certain people stopped fucking with me because I didn't, I guess, speak up and say how I felt about certain things, or, talk about what I was going through. Because, like, I'm not one of those people that'll reach out when I'm going through something.
Yeah.
Like, I seclude. So, like, some people, they feel like you need to talk to them every day. I'm not that friend. Like, but I'll still reach out to you, if you see I'm good, but if you need me, call me. For some people, they need that constant, like, oh, I talk to such and such every single day. That's just not me. Yeah. So I feel like with a lot of people, it's just like, oh, they just feel like I lost contact with them, so it's like, fuck them, when that's not the case. Like, I'm just, I'm trying to figure out my shit. You feel me?
Yeah. At the end of the day, in order for you to be able to keep making good music, you have to be sane.
Yeah, and I wasn't, right, when I say I lost myself, like, I didn't know who the fuck I was for a while. Yeah. And that shit was scary. Like,
and at the time, you also had your daughter with you, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have my family, like, all my kids, and it's just like, that's even worse, because then you looking at yourself in the mirror, and it's like, what kind of parent am I? What kind of, relationship do I have with the people that love me? Like, what am I doing? I don't know me. Like, I wake up some days and I ain't even recognize what I saw in the mirror. Versus now, like, the love I have for myself again is like, shit, what the fuck was I thinking? Like,
back in your zone, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's good.
For sure.
It's like, what's something like, how you're saying, like, some of the struggles you went through, what's something that, like, most, I guess, like, I can say, I don't want to say small rappers, let's just say up and coming artists, that maybe they're not in a position where, like, their songs aren't doing as much streams, but, like, what's something that maybe they don't really understand behind the scenes of the music business?
Promotion, number one.
Yeah.
Paying for playlisting, paying for ads, paying for whatever. you know, you can run an ad campaign with $5. You know what I'm saying? Everything don't got to be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a lot of people don't realize, like, celebrate the small victories. Like, we used to not do that shit at all. We had to learn, like, yo, that 1,000 streams is still good. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you got to celebrate your victories. Social media ruin that shit because you compare. If I'm following Rick Ross on the internet and I just bought a house and I got a car from 2016, but this nigga just posted a Maybach.
Yeah.
For some people, that'll fuck their life up. Their whole move ruined. I'm not doing enough.
Do you
know?
think that keeps people hungry though?
Some
keep
people
hustling?
It'll keep some people hungry. It'll keep some people in a position where they just feel like they're never doing enough, so why give a fuck? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it's all in you got to decide for yourself what type of person you are. And once you know that, then you can understand what motivates you, what doesn't, you know, what kills your confidence, what doesn't. Like, that just ties back to what I said about losing myself and then finding it again. You feel me? You got to know who you are.
Yeah, no, you know, it's like, you know, how you said, I think you said it earlier about COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know COVID hit people a lot different. Some people was like it could have been very devastating. Some people like they took time to like really grind.
Mm-hmm.
How was COVID like for you? Because I know
we was outside.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna cap. I made, hopefully the IRS ain't watching this. I made 30 bands off Instagram during COVID. I won't scamming or nothing. I was just, my shit was busting because we always was like harassing each other, making funny videos, whatever.
Yeah.
And so like people was coming to me for promotion for their music and shit while also buying features. You know, I'm hitting off at that time for like $750, some shit like that. So like if I at the time I might have did 2 features a week. Everything's in house, so I'm paying my own engineer. You know, I'm breaking them off. And if we're not even paying, you know, I might pull up to the studio with a couple bottles.
Yeah.
You know, we had our own building at the time, so my videographer, my engineer, my whole team, we was always all together.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was real easy to be like, all right, well, fuck it, we finna. It wasn't even about making content. We was just living it. We were just filming everything. And while everybody else was busy being miserable, not no fault of their own, but people couldn't handle being inside. We wasn't inside. We was still outside. So it was like, shit, the pandemic, if I could go back, I'd do that shit again. Like, it was great for me.
It was that pandemic for you.
Man, what? And it won't no PPP, so I ain't had to worry about nobody coming to get it.
Oh yeah,
so.
that PPP was fucking people up like a year or two after that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, they was coming back for that brand. Uncle Sam gonna get his regardless.
Oh, yeah. You seen how they hired like
man, so many people to just go and like just go chase people down and take their bread and shit. Nah. Yeah, the niggas was hitting up. I ain't gonna lie. Low key, sometimes we be like, shit, if I could go back, I might have to. But nah, with my luck, God will make an example out of your boy. I can't even fuck with it.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, when you moved down here to Richmond, you said you were about 15?
No. When I moved down here full time, I was like 21, like just freshly 21.
Okay.
But I lived in Petersburg like for a year when I was like mad young.
Okay. So, you know, like, so you're older. So at that point, you know, you're mature and everything. But what was like, did you see a lot of the streets and the violence going on around you?
I mean, yeah, like, you know, I ran the streets when I was younger for sure. Cause like I said, you know, even being out in the sticks, like shit do get busy. Like, you know, I wasn't like the crazy violent motherfucker. Like, I was always about money and women. Like, that was just kind of it for me. Mm-hmm. But that don't mean you're not around. That don't mean you don't see everything. You know, I was the youngest nigga in the crew back in the day, so it was like, you know, I saw a little bit of all of it. Truthfully, I mean, I feel like it definitely matured me because you ain't got no choice. Like, you know, you get put in certain situations, you make the wrong move, you know, somebody in jail, somebody whatever, like, you just never know. Yeah. So you got to think like a grown man no matter what age you are.
That's true.
So, I mean, it definitely helped, like, mature me fast as hell. I'll say that. You
know, something I like to ask, like, artists or, like, people that specialize in something or, like, they pursue something. If you weren't rapping, what could you see yourself doing?
Pornhub. No, I'm just playing. Truthfully, I don't know. I mean, the streaming thing, like everything I could do if I wasn't rapping, I still do. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I do like TikTok. I got a following on there. You know, I do like fitness content. I do jokes, comedy. A lot of people told me for years I should like stand up and shit. Yeah. I run a restaurant right now. Like, you know, there's so many, like, I mean, I still work. So like there's so many things that I still do that I would see myself doing if it wasn't for rap. I think I found more of that when I wasn't rapping in the last couple of years. Because
it just helped you find, like, maybe your passion for other things?
Yeah, like, this was always the end-all, be-all. This was like, if this don't work, we ain't got nothing else.
So you say you run a restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about that restaurant. What's it called?
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a, you know, if you know. But yeah, so I'm a general manager, so I got like a whole staff, the whole nine.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I like to show people that like, yo, you can still like go do what you want to do while also having a job. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Uh-huh.
You know, slow motion better than no motion. You feel me? So like, it's cool to me. Like when people come in and they like, you know, whether they want to say something good, something bad, they like, let me talk to the boss. I am the boss. They be confused with all the tattoos, dreads, the whole nine.
Uh-huh.
You can still do this while getting whatever money. And like, you know, the trapping shit is cool. I've done all that, but like to get that regular bread, ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, no, there's not. Is that oh, actually I was about to say that here in Richmond, that restaurant, but I mean I'm not gonna ask too much, but
It's
what,
in Richmond. Trust me, a lot of people have seen me. So
what do you think being in that position has taught you though, like being in like in a position of authority over a crew, you could say?
I mean, kind of the same thing that like running a label and all that shit taught me. It's like you got to be able to. I think now it's different because when I was running a label, like I said, me and my brother was doing it. So you got two different opinions, two different voices, two different ways of dealing with stuff. With this, when it's like, you know, I'm the top dog, it's like, all right, like you got to understand everybody's issues, everybody's strengths, everybody's problems. And I think what makes me better at that position than a lot of people could be is because I always told myself if I ever got in a position of power, no matter what it was, that I was always going to be the person I felt like I needed when I was 15, 16, 17, whatever. So, like, you know, a lot of my staff is like, you know, teenagers and stuff like that, but they fuck with me like a big brother because they know, like, all right, I'm going to get on their ass if I need to, but I also know when graduation is. I know about your breakup. I know about what your parents got going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not just a number to me.
That's good. Me? It just makes it more personal instead of being like, oh, he's just my boss.
Right,
like,
right.
That's, like I said, the big homie, basically.
Facts.
Yeah, it's like you'll be able to relate to them. And at that age, you said there are a lot of teenagers. That's when they need that guidance because you don't know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, a lot of them be tripped out. Like, not so much anymore because they see me all over the internet. But they be tripped out because I get stopped at work a lot. That's why I said, like, it's not really a secret. Yeah. But I get stopped all the time, even when I stopped rapping, when they was like, yo, what's going on? Where the music? What's blah, blah, blah? Because I've been doing it for so long. I got a following and everything. And they were like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, oh, like, and then they find out and they're like, oh, shit. Like, so, you know, that part of it I definitely say is cool as fuck.
Yeah. You know, you have a lot of music videos, right? On YouTube?
Decent amount.
What was like your favorite one so far? I know there's a lot of behind the scenes that goes to music videos.
Truthfully, I would probably say the second Oh My God video, we reshot it at one point to submit it to labels. That was one of my favorites because at the time, like, you know, everybody I was around, we was all in the video as a squad. My manager at the time was in the video. One of my brothers, shout out P Max Productions, Absolute. He shot the video. I direct all my videos, so I come up with the ideas. I, you know, put things in place. Like, so I think that's one of my favorites. And I'd say recently my most favorite would probably be the joint me and Chop did because I got back in my bag of like, this is what I want this to be. This is how we're gonna do this. I coordinated everything, and it was like I brought my vision, you know, to life. So it kind of felt cool to like, all right, I still got it, you know.
That song's hard. It's just like y'all flowed perfectly on that song.
Right.
It was like it just worked. I don't know. It worked.
It's crazy because like I mean, like I said, you know, I knew him before that.
Yeah.
Because we used to perform at some of the same places back in the day. So you know, this wasn't some music, you know, link up. It was like we know each other. So but I was surprised. Like when the song came out, I think we were both a little surprised. Like damn, like we really like rocked this shit like together. And like we was in the studio. And I record, like, my process is fast. Like, if I get 2-3 hours of studio time, I'm only recording for 20 minutes. Like, I can have multiple songs done in that time frame. You can just mix and do your shit. I'm just in the cut. I fuck around be on my Switch playing Fortnite. Like, I don't even like to take part in the mixing process unless I got something I need to say. Yeah. Or, like, I don't like beat making sessions. Like, I'd rather just kick it. So we was in there, laid the song down. And I fuck with Chop because, like, his recording process is cool, too. So it's like, it was a different energy from both of us, but it came together. And we still had so much time. He was like, fuck it. Like, you trying to get on this? All right, fuck it. Load it up. And just came together. And, it was just real. It was real easy. It was real authentic. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't forced.
Yeah, it was genuine. Yeah, you know, tell me a little bit about your record label. I forgot the name of it again.
So, technically, I mean, I guess you could say right now, it's not really a label anymore. It was called Dub Life Music Group.
Dub Life, okay.
It's still something that I represent to the fullest just because it was more of a lifestyle for me. You know, we created it, we built it. It was the basis of everything that we were striving to be. You know, it's kind of like being a parent and you and your kid fall out. Like that's not your kid no more. It's just, you kind of have a little bit of space.
Yeah.
Still love it. You still cherish it. But it's like right now I've never been able to just be the artist. You feel me? And like right now, that's all I am. So as much as I'm still Dub Life to the core, right now I'm just it's fee. Like I'm just I'm just seeing what's next each day.
It's like did you start that label because is that something you as in like your way of going independent? Because were you signed before, right?
Nah. So when we started Dub Life, that was around the time, like I said, when we moved up here, we didn't really have any like connections. We didn't know how to do shit. So another part of learning how to do everything is, all right, well, ain't none of these labels we emailing and reaching back out to us. Let's start our own label.
Yeah.
And that's just how that came about. Like, there was no expectation to us of, like, this is going to become a huge fucking thing one day. And then one day we woke up and it was a pretty big fucking thing out here. And then, but like I said, like right now I'm more so I'm just rocking and feet. Like, I'm starting my own, well, it's already been a brand, but I'm more focused on my brand just as an artist.
It's like 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? Like, it could be music-wise, it could be like in general.
Truthfully, just happy. Like,
happy, yeah.
For me now, if you'd asked me this 5 years ago, I'd have said on a Billboard chart somewhere, living in LA rich as hell, and that's the only way I'd have been happy. Now I've learned that, like, 100 pennies still make $1. So, am my math right? No, I'm just playing. But yeah, it's like,
you made me question it for a second.
Now it's like, I could be still running a restaurant, still being a father, still streaming, still whatever. I could be living a quiet life on a fucking farm. As long as it's whatever is making me happy, that's all that matters to me. In 5 years, I just want to continue to be happy. I want to be the happiest. Like, that's it.
It's true because I feel like, especially like you said earlier with social media, it just makes you like compare and then you're like, okay, shit, I don't really. I guess it just makes you want more. That something it doesn't make you appreciate what you do.
Nah, definitely, it definitely doesn't. It's like, you a kid and you in school. Your parents give you the best of what they can, but the kid next to you parents got a bunch of money.
Yeah.
You don't appreciate the fact that your parents might have had to rip a hole out their pants to sew your pants up. You just see the next person with some nice-ass pants.
That's true.
I hate social media sometimes, no matter how much money I made off it, because sometimes that shit can have you thinking, moving, acting completely different when your happiness should be within yourself.
Yeah. How do you, now that you bring up social media, but like, what do you think about like where the world is today? Because like, if you compare where we're at right now compared to like the pandemic, everything changed after COVID. Like, what do you think about like just everything, social media, politics, all these laws? Or
I mean, I think genuinely, as a people, we just gotta focus on what we can control.
Yeah.
Like, people, my age or people, even from 18 on up, most of us don't vote. Most of us don't give a fuck to vote because we know it don't really count for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just gotta focus on what's in front of you. Yeah. Like, I fuck with where social media is to an extent. Like I said, I do the whole TikTok thing. I love that shit. That shit's fun. I like that because it's fun and it's free. You're not comparing your lifestyle to nobody else. Yeah. Instagram, truthfully, I don't really fuck with Instagram like that no more after they sold it to Facebook because they ruined a lot of shit for the whole, like, I've been verified for like 5 years. They ruined that shit. It's just like $15 now. Like,
I guess it lost its credibility, I guess.
Well, I feel like it devalued.
Yeah.
Because before, like, there was a lot that came with that. Like, there was this thing called growth hacking. I can expose secrets now. Back then, where like you could view up to like 1 million stories a day if you had like the growth system set up through certain people who would be able to do it. So verified accounts were the only accounts that could do it. So like you could go and you'll sign up, pay a certain amount a month by that person who has the software.
Yeah.
And like back in the day when people would show like a famous person on the bottom of their story, they screenshot and post like, oh, they got their eyes on me. They was not watching you. It was a whole growth hacking thing. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was just a verified account thing because I was a part of that. So like I knew how it worked. Like when people were hitting up people during the pandemic for like, yo, I fuck with your music. Let's do a drop. Let's do this. Let's do that. Nah, those are packages. Like, they verified accounts, like it's a spam message. Like it's
shit.
Yeah, it's all a money grab.
Damn, I didn't know that. It was like so your Instagram at the time when the verification wasn't like a paid for thing. How did you go about like acquiring that blue check?
It just happened one day.
Just happened.
I was on the gram in the group chat with the homies, and somebody was like, "Yo, congrats! Congrats on what, nigga?" It's like, "Oh, you got verified." At the time, I'm working at a fucking gas station, bro. Like, I'm just behind the counter at work, like standing there on like a 12-hour day. Yeah. And it just randomly happened. Like, I mean, I always looked at it like you put in the work, whatever comes with it comes with it. But like, don't go into it like, oh, I'm only doing it for A, B, C, and D. So that was just a byproduct. Then I learned how to make it work for me.
Yeah.
But then once they sold it to Facebook, Facebook ruined everything. So, you live and you learn, just move on to the next thing.
When you said earlier, I forgot to bring this up, but what were your thoughts on the casino that they voted no for?
I thought it was weird to vote no. Like,
Yeah.
what does it matter? Like, I think it was more of an old people vote. Cause
Yeah.
casino for younger people, like, that's just another place for us to go spend money. But to an extent, it's another place also for some violence to go on, some bullshit to go on. So, like, I can kind of understand both sides, but saying no, I thought was dumb. Like,
I see both sides, but I feel like when you're a creator like yourself or like me, it like brings opportunity
right
to the city. It shows us more than what we can see. Cause like with the casino, like it shows like I think like it also have like a stage where like celebrities can come perform and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it just makes Richmond a bigger city.
Right,
and
opens it up.
Like so that I feel like Richmond could be like a Atlanta, like a New York. Is like we have great talent. I feel like we have great talent. We have in the creative space here in Richmond is crazy. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like that was just holding us back.
I feel like the only thing that separates us, this is kind of off topic, but from like the places you named, is that like it's someone who's been to pretty much all of those, New York, Atlanta, LA, whatever. Like, I think the version of their city, which looks like what we have downtown, is bigger. So like where we have like this stretch of maybe 10, 15 miles of like high rises and this, that, and the third, they might have this shit for an entire 50, 60 miles. Like, the whole city looks like that. So I think that's the only thing that's like the main difference. Like the talent's there. I think a lot of people have a misconception that, Atlanta, everybody brings everybody up. LA, everybody fucks with each other. Like, nah, like every city got their bullshit. We just don't live there. We don't know.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Like, so I think the casino should have been done. I think it was a good idea, but hey man, fuck it.
Yeah, shit. I mean, everything happens for a reason, but we'll see how that goes.
Facts.
It's like when let's just say when your streams were like started picking up numbers and everything, and money started coming in. What was that feeling like? Was it like oh shit or?
It was weird. Because you're just making music, so like even when you invest in it or whatever, there's no guarantee. So like when it really started to like catch traction, like again at the time, still working full time. At the time, when that was popping on, I was living in the hood. Like, so for us, it was like shit. We got some money to go do some bullshit today. What you want to do? Like, it wasn't really like, all right, now I can buy some more diapers. I can do whatever. Like, it wasn't no like, oh shit, like we finna be up. It was just like, all right, this just adds to trying to get from point A to point B. Like, it was never really done. The feeling itself was crazy to see us making money off of it, but the money itself was just like, all right, this just goes into real life again.
Yeah, because I feel like with other, it could. You don't think like, so you're saying like money probably didn't change you, because that can happen to a lot of like the artists when they start making money off their music.
I don't think money ever changed me. Now granted, I ain't never made no $1 million, so I don't really know who I would or wouldn't be at that point. But money don't change people; it just make them more of who they've always been. So me making the money I was making off streaming or features or whatever, I was still the same dude. If anything, it might have made some habits worse. You could. If you're getting $700, $800 for a verse and you only got to pay the engineer $100 and your cameraman another $100 if you're on the same team, we getting fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody get their own bottle. Let's do whatever. So like, I think that was the only thing. But like outside of that, like the money really didn't change anything. I think if I'd have been smarter with it, it probably would have changed. But I'm younger at that point. I was just living every day for itself, so I didn't really think that hard. But
that restaurant you told me about earlier is like, since you have to deal with people with customer service and everything. What's some of the craziest shit you've seen? Because it could be like a drunk customer or stuff like that.
Man,
I know that shit happens all the time, right?
Man, so I got a little homegirl I work with. I ain't gonna say her name because, well, she's 18 now, but still, if you see this, you know exactly who you are. She a little hothead, but like she don't trip out unless somebody trip out on her.
Okay.
Man, this story funny as shit. I was in the bathroom one time, right, on like a 15-hour shift. I ain't never mind no hard work, you know what I'm saying? Daddy ain't raised no quitter. But like, I got my headphones on because I'm on the phone. Like, half the time I was going to the bathroom so I can sit down for a second and just not be bothered.
Yeah.
And I hear like a loud noise. It's like 9:45. We close at 10. I'm thinking like a whole team or something should just walk in. I walk out the door and her and this middle-aged woman is like screaming at each other at the top of their lungs. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I walk over and the lady's just cussing her the fuck out. And she's like, bitch, I'll beat your old ass, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm just like, bro, I tell her every day, like, I can't even go to the bathroom when you here. I just gotta stay out this motherfucker. You a little rough nigga. I can't. But outside of that, like, for real, I don't really be having too many crazy or bad experiences. Like, it's just, I guess the most wild shit just be people recognizing me. Like,
Yeah.
You know, that, you know, and I just kind of be like, oh yeah, good to see you. What can I get for you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay,
I just,
yeah.
you know, like, it's just normal to me. Like, I just go back to it.
But it's like people ask for pictures and stuff. But like, I feel like at that point, it's like you make the workplace or like the experience a lot better. Like, oh shit, I got to eat the food and oh, Feli's here.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I think one of the coolest times I was in there and I was cleaning tables and shit, and it was like a mom with like 5 kids. Like I guess they came from football practice or something.
Yeah.
And they was all looking at me or whatever. I'm thinking it's just because, you know, I mean, I'm not exactly the most normal looking person, I would assume. So I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm used to that. But then the mom's like, hey, so my son and his friends, they know you from the internet. They really love you, blah, 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 blah. So I go over and talk to them, little homies. I ain't trying to be on no, like, you know, PBS kid shit. Like, yeah, stay in school. I'm just like, yo, like, hey, bro, y'all, like, what's up, man? Like, you know, just talking to them like normal people. It made their night and it was cool for me. It's like, shit, like, I'm still able to show, like, because you know me from the internet, don't assume that I have $1 billion and I don't got to do shit. You can still do whatever you want to do, but also go out here and get this money. Like,
yeah, it's like one thing I heard. I had somebody on yesterday. His name's Troy. He said he gave me a good example. It was like, keep this hand working. Let's just say this is the music. While this hand's working, make this hand work over here.
yeah, facts.
And eventually,
facts.
I guess eventually, like the music or whatever you are pursuing will catch up with time.
Facts. It's a perfect example.
You know, you say you have a TikTok account. I didn't check that out, but so you make like entertaining videos, right?
Yeah.
Could you ever see yourself being like just like maybe like a comedian or entertainer or something like wilding out, something like that?
Truthfully, like I said, when I stopped the music, my focus was that. Like I said, I do fitness. I dropped like 100 pounds in a year.
Well, did
so
you?
like I focus on that too. But like the funny shit, like truthfully, like my mental health and all that shit, that was great because I just like to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Like the rap shit, I fuck with it, but in some of my songs, I say like wild shit, like about putting a thumb in a bitch ass or some crazy shit, just because it's like
we heard that lyric earlier today.
Right, that's it,
we
like,
started laughing when
right,
we heard that,
and it's cool because like no matter who hear, like I have fans all over the fucking world that'll hear shit like that and they think it's hilarious, but that's just me. Like, you know, you'll get the same version of me no matter where you at. So when they get on the TikTok and shit and they see all the funny videos and I'm clowning out and shit, like, you know, I'll be posting like hear me out shits where I like might stitch a bad bitch or something, like whatever. They just fuck with it because they know it's authentically me.
Yeah.
You feel me? And they love that shit. And that's cool for me because it's like I get to make people laugh. I'm laughing my damn self. So like, fuck it, let's have some fun.
You know, on that song where you said that lyric, was that on Dolo or on the song with Chop?
It's probably on song with y'all. I think Dolo was more like a slowed down vibe. But I've said shit like that on plenty of songs. Like I kind of just be saying anything, to be honest.
You know, is Dolo the most recent song you put up?
I think so.
I was going on Spotify. I think that's the most recent one I saw.
It was either Dolo or damn, what was the name of that song? All I Got.
All I Got.
Yeah.
The streams on Dolo went crazy, right?
Yeah, this is got to like 550 or something like that.
Yeah, I saw on Spotify earlier. I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
I was hella surprised. I mean, I put a little bread into like advertising, but I wasn't like, oh shit, like this is gonna do something. I was just putting out a song because I hadn't put out no content except TikTok for like months and months. And my brother be on me like, brother, you gotta either you're done or you're not, but like you gotta figure it out. So I was like, fuck it, I dropped these songs. I'm just recording anyway. Fuck it, why not?
You think the songs gain more streams like using Instagram and TikTok?
It depends on the songs. Like,
right.
you know, if you have like entertaining music, like the song with me and Chop, I put that shit on TikTok. I have another song called K.O. Ken that got like at one point had like 5,000-6,000 videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
Cause I was like one of the first people verified on there too. So like,
shit.
you know, and I flipped that. So like I would put it like, oh, like, you know, I would use the song and be like, why is this guy verified? And people would be like commenting like, why the fuck? And then they start following me because they want to know.
Yeah.
And then I play on that, make funny videos on that. Or I'll use the sound and be like, all right, well, you know, if you use this sound, I'll follow you. And people would just start spamming that shit like over and over and over and over because they want to verify following. And then when they realize I'm actually going to follow you back, they're like, oh, shit.
It just it's like one of those, I guess, like just seeing somebody with like how is it, like an audience reply back. Some people with the audience will really like comment or follow you back. It's like you said, like I saw when you said like, oh, you know, I comment on other people's posts. I saw the other day my boy Nestor, I saw you comment on one of his posts.
I found him from here and I thought he was fired. I'm like, yeah, if I see you, I think you're fired. Shit, why not? Like, you know, I just like spreading love. Like, be spreading love don't mean you owe me nothing. It don't mean we gotta work together. It don't mean I feel like it's just I fuck with you.
Was there a time where you weren't like that? You were like maybe not exactly putting others down, but just like not really trying to move people?
I've had times and I feel like it was for me overcompensating from how I felt inside, where, you know, people around me will say like I act like I'm better or this, that, and the third. When in reality, those are the times I felt the most insecure about where I was at. You know, when I felt like I was dying off, I didn't feel like I stepped away at first. I felt like I was dying off. And at that point, I'm overcompensating, and I'm like, oh, well, I did A, B, C, and D, when instead I should be celebrating the people around me.
Yeah.
And that was another humbling experience. Like, sometimes you really got to hit the floor to learn how to stand back up. And I hit that motherfucker head first. So, you know, I've had those experiences, but shit, you get better.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. You could definitely have to hit rock bottom.
Yeah,
that point is the only way up.
Facts.
You know, what do you think about this? Is a question I had. Like, this is actually the first time I asked somebody on the show. Like, there's different questions I ask people. What do you think about like the fake it till you make it mentality? Do you think there's some truth to it, or you don't really think that's the right way to go for it?
I think it depends on what you're saying in your music. Like, if you get on a song and I got 100 bricks, a Maybach, and I'm on a private jet, but then I see you at the transit waiting on the bus, I'm gonna be like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gonna fake it till you make it, I ain't mad at you. If you feel like that works for you, make it work for you.
Yeah.
I feel like the best that I've ever had was being able to just try to be as transparent as possible. Because then people can actually relate to you. You feel me? Like, for some people to fake it till you make it shit do work. Like, usually for like trap music and shit like that, like, I feel like it works the best. But yeah, I mean, shit, if you want to give it a shot, fuck it, go for it. It might work.
You know, it's like, could you ever see yourself, like, if you were in the industry, could you see yourself, like, really handling the industry? Because I know there's, like, a bunch of, like, sneaky shit that comes with it, or, like, deals, record labels wanting to make you, like, hey, oh, you know what, lose weight, or cut your dreads, or, you know what, oh, we can't have you say this, so-and-so. Would you think you'd be able to make it in the industry?
I mean, I've dealt with labels.
Yeah.
We went to Def Jam. We've been to Interscope, Ethica Music, $1 Billion Baby. Like, so we've dealt with labels and shit. I mean, it is a lot of backhanded, underhanded shit to be going on, but there's also some still genuine people.
Yeah.
You just kind of, you got to maneuver every situation with your best interest and people around you's best interest at heart. And you just got to read your paperwork, for real.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. A lot of people see a dollar sign and don't realize that you owe that bitch 10 times over. That's not every situation. But, you know, some people will turn down a small deal where they told you ain't owe $1 and they're going to help you with every single thing possible. You know, you just really got to pay attention to everything you're doing and just be you. Like, it's just that simple.
Was like, is that like, who do you think has like really guided you when you started making music and you started running those streams? Like, who really guided you? Like, you should do this, you should do that.
I mean, for a while there, you know, my ex-manager, Steph, shout out to her, still all love. You know, she had a lot of help, but I think me and everybody that I was around, you know, me, Petey, her, Carson, it was more of like, we were learning as we were going. Like I said, my little bro Carson, he had a song that did, it said like 5 million, but this was at a time when that shit wasn't happening for people.
Yeah.
And so everything that happened to us happened organically, so we weren't prepared for it.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, I can't ask you what it feels like for us to get our first 100K. We doing it together. So it was just like, everything was a learning curve. There wasn't really a lot of guidance. It was like, all right, let's try to figure this out on our own. If anything, we got it ourselves because we were always willing to study. We were always willing to put the work in, the time, the hours, which, I mean, again, I feel like made us better.
Yeah, no, yeah, I feel you on that. You know, I always like to ask, like, our guests, like, some different questions. It could be some of them are dumb questions, some of them entertaining questions, but, like, if you were a fighter, right, like an MMA fighter or a boxer, what would be, like, your walk-in intro? Like a song?
All right. It's going to surprise you if you don't know me. My favorite song of all time is Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. I listen to that song at least 5 times a day, even today. Yeah. And I listen to it in the gym, and I would walk out to that song, and they'd be hella confused because it's so positive. But I love that bitch. I love Natasha. If you watching this, I love you, baby. Yeah, I'm going with that. Yeah, for sure.
You go beat some ass to Natasha?
Bro, the first time I saw her, I was watching Degrassi, bro. That's another guilty pleasure. I love that fucking show. And, yeah, I love that song ever since. So, for sure. Yeah, I'm walking out to Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield, for sure.
Oh, my God. That's the weirdest one I've gotten so far.
You'd have never expected that one.
Nah,
huh?
I wouldn't.
I should have made you make a bet.
All right, look. Let's just say if you just hit the lottery today, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you're doing?
Moving. I'm moving to Delaware or South Dakota or some crazy ass off the wall place. And depending on how hot the bread is, you know, the few people around me that I actually deal with and actually got like a real true love for, you know, give them a little bit, like, say for instance, like I think the last one I seen was like 930 something million or some shit like that.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't need all that money. It'd be great to have. They're gonna cut it in half anyway. So the 450 million, I'm moving me and my family, my mom, my pops. You know, I'm gonna take all of my actual close friends because at this point, everybody I'm with, I've been with 10 years or, you know, maybe a little shorter than that. But
Yeah.
you know, and we all moving. We're gonna go to some suburb way in the cut. And we're gonna at that point, what are we chasing? We don't need to chase the music. We don't need to chase none of that. You can if you want to, but let's just live a quiet life and enjoy the money and enjoy just living.
What would your dream life look like? Would that be your dream life, or like, let's say if you did have like that money, you wouldn't want to continue pursuing maybe like streaming, rapping?
Streaming for sure.
Yeah.
But even still, I mean, you know, I feel like a lot of people look at most things as like at the end of the day, it's a monetary gain too.
Yeah.
You know, I probably still stream because I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I mean, truthfully, with that type of money, like you can make your own happiness. You know, whatever you feel like is what you want, you can kind of do it.
Yeah.
So that quiet life, knowing my bank account good, and knowing there's some random dude in your city with a McLaren and you don't even know who the fuck he is, that's cool. That's cool with me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been known like, why not enjoy some quiet? Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, some people don't want the fame, and some people don't need that. But it's like, you know, what's like the biggest lesson you've learned in your life, regardless of music, or it could be like something you picked up as a kid, or something maybe you'd push on your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shit, that's a good one. There's a few. You know, any struggle you're going through, the only way to go through is to get through. When people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Shit, and ain't no shame in a dollar you worked hard for.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, those are the three ones I can think off the top of my head. I mean, you know, life has a way of really teaching you whether you know you're being taught or not. Then you wake up one day and it clicks, and you're like, shit, I just learned a whole lifetime's worth of lessons, and I didn't even know that was what was going on. I thought I was just struggling. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
so those are a few. I think those are really the ones I would hammer home for sure.
Are you religious?
I'm spiritual.
You're
I
spiritual.
wouldn't say I'm religious. You know, I do believe that there's something or somebody listening, but I wouldn't tie myself to like, you know, any type of religion per se. You know, I do, I guess you would say pray, but I'm more so like talking out loud.
Yeah.
You know, I talk to whoever's listening, but you know, I'm a very spiritual, well thought person to an extent. But religious, nah. I grew up around too many fake religious people. You know, you talk about everybody on Sunday, but throughout the week, you the worst one. Like, I can't rock with that.
And you know, that's one thing I really picked up on is like, it'll be the people in church that did the worst shit.
Facts.
I feel like they just try to hide behind a religion to make themselves feel better about themselves.
Bro, I literally watched two of my aunts get in an argument one time when I was a kid at church over who brought my dad and his family there. Meanwhile, like, we only came because it was something completely unrelated. Once I seen that, and it was like, y'all just come out here to show off and show ass. Like, nah, I'm cool on that. I'd rather just be spiritual in my own way. Like, my pops would watch his church at home, but he, for the same reason. Like, I want to be spiritual in my way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I look at it. Like, I'll be spiritual in whatever way makes me feel the best.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I feel like you got a lot to, like, insight in you. Let's just say, right, if you had a chance where the whole world is watching you, they're all ears, what's the message you get to the whole world?
Shit, treat every day with a smile and make it your bitch, for real. Like, you know, every day gonna come with its ups and its downs. Every day ain't gonna be good. But the point is to try to have as many good ones as you can, and that way the bad ones, you don't even notice them. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you work 5 days a week and you get to the weekend, you don't even feel like you had a weekend. That's how the bad day is supposed to feel. You don't even remember that shit next week because it's so far out of your mind, it don't matter. Like, I feel like a lot of shit can be solved with positivity. Like, you know, I'm not saying like overbearing positivity where you smiling and all up in people's faces and shit. Like, that's cool too if that's what you want to do. My version of positivity is just knowing like, hey man, like, shit, life going life. You know what I'm saying? You just got to roll the punches and get up.
You know, something you said earlier that I wanted to question or bring a conversation out of it is like, you said you lost 100 pounds in a year.
Yeah.
How was that? Like, what made you want to really pursue that change, like, for the better?
So I come from some alcohol abuse issues, like, throughout my bloodline, I guess you could say, and partying, running the streets, performing, just ripping and running, you know, drinking casually, whatever. Like, it took a real toll on me.
Yeah.
To a point where I flew out to Cali. I had signed with Ethical Music. We came back and it was a party every day for like 2 weeks. Damn. And I look back on it, and I don't think I drank no water in that 2 weeks. And I got so dehydrated that I developed something called pancreatitis, and people don't even get that till they in like they damn 40s, and it's damn near like early onset cirrhosis, like where it damn near destroys your liver.
Oh shit.
And so I got to the hospital, and like it makes you feel like you can't move, like you can't. It hurts to breathe. Everything hurts. Can't lay down. Can't sit up. It's fucking terrible. Then I got to the hospital, and they were like, "Yeah, your blood pressure 2 times what it's supposed to be." I was like 315, 320 pounds. I was so dehydrated that like, not to give out too much information, but like my piss was brown. Like it was bad. And they told me, it was like, yo, like my liver and shit was swelling up so bad that they didn't really know how many more days I could have went without coming in there before that shit got fatal. And I told myself that day, like, why would I let something I can control destroy me?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I still drink. I mean, I like liquor, like, I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah,
but
nothing
like,
wrong with that.
at the same time, like, I also drink a bunch of water every day. Still work out 4 times a week. Like, that shit really got me at a point where I was like, damn, bro, like, I could have just not been here no more. And over what? Over a shot? Like, come on. Like, nah, I ain't going out like that.
What really helped that change? Was it like you just cut out alcohol completely and just hit the gym, or like?
So I cut out alcohol for the first 30 days. But part of addiction is knowing that eventually you're gonna be like, why am I letting somebody tell me what to do? Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But for the first 30 days, and then mainly it was like I drank a gallon of water a day, meal prepped, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And just healthier options. Like, we was eating nothing but fast food, going out every night, whoop-de-whoop. Instead of going out, I'm gonna go home and cook some chicken breasts, some asparagus. Like, even now, I still do that. Protein shakes, whatever. Like, it was just changing out. You don't have to change out every negative for a positive, but a few small changes can change your whole everything. So that was really my focus.
Yeah, no, because that's a big change, and it's like you have to rewire your brain because you're so used to this. It's like at that point, since you're really, would you say you're overweight at the time?
Hell yeah.
So you're overweight, and it's like your liver was going to shit.
Bro, it would be, I'll lose breath standing about the couch, like, and your homies making fun of you and shit, but everybody joke back and forth. And I got other homies that are like big dudes, so it's like when you say some shit to me, I'm like, all right, fuck you, whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you see this shit happening to you, and you notice and you realizing, like, bro, like, you so big, like, it's hard to take care of yourself, like, hygiene wise, whatever. Like, you just look in the mirror after some shit like that, you're like, damn, what the fuck? Like, now I look in the mirror, I like what I see, like, like, and comparing the two is like, it's fucking insane.
You think they put you at the time? They put you in like survival mode, like
100%.
Yeah.
Cause that feeling that I had when I was in the hospital and shit was like, I felt like I was gonna fucking die. Like, I really did. They had me hooked up to IVs and all sorts of shit.
So you said that was at the time when you had came back with after you said signing a deal with Ethica Music Group?
Yeah. I was in Cali fucking with Ethica Music, and I came back, and like I said, it was a party every fucking day.
Yeah, it's like, hey, how long were you like out for, like hospital or like?
I would say the whole ordeal was probably like a week, but that's just because, like, when you get to the hospital, obviously they loaded me up with IVs and fluids.
Yeah.
A problem that I could have made in my life in a week, they can fix in a day. You feel me? They gave me medicine, the whole 9. But, like, from the day, like, literally, I was in the hospital, and I signed up for a gym membership while I was sitting there. Like, I was like, bro, nah, like, if I can't. Yeah. Like, if I'm going to be destroying my insides, I got to at least try to take care of them, too. You feel me? Like, like, even now, I mean, I still do. Now I do about 3 miles a day. But back then, it was, like, just 1, and that was a big change for me.
So you run 3 miles a day now?
Every time I go to the gym, I do 3 miles of cardio within an hour, 45 minutes. And I'll lift for about an hour or 2 hours.
What advice would you give to somebody else that's maybe going through a situation where they want to get better? Like, because I know sometimes, like, even someone like me, like, I would want to get to the gym, but I don't know how to get started. Maybe, like, how do I eat right? How do I go to the gym? It's like, what's something you push on somebody that's lost?
The best thing you can do is start. I mean, the waiting ain't making you start. You know what I'm saying? The best thing you can do is start. The best thing I did was start.
Yeah.
I didn't have no knowledge, but you start looking at things, you start figuring things out. Like, I was finding recipes. Like, a lot of the things that I like to eat and go out to eat, I now make at home. Like, but I can make them better. Like, I can make Chick-fil-A at the crib because I love to cook anyway. Yeah. I can make, I'll find recipes online, like, that I see that, something I would get from some restaurant. I can just make it at the crib. Yeah. Like, a lot of people get that gym culture confused where they think they're going to go in there, everybody will be looking at them all crazy and shit. That's not how it works. Like, it's a really, when I go in the gym even now, it feels like the world shuts off and it gets quiet. Like, it's a really welcoming and warm environment. So, you just got to make, the first step is taking the first step. You feel me? You can't worry about step 12. You got to take that first one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I definitely agree with you on that because I remember when I first started going to the gym. Well, I don't go now, but when I did, it's like I guess that anxiety. Some people have like a lot of social anxiety, but
No, definitely.
But it's like nowadays, like the gyms, everybody has their phones out recording. It's just kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, but it's also one of them things like certain people ruin shit for everybody.
yeah,
Like I said, I make gym content too, so when I'm like filming and shit, people will stop to like try not to walk through my shit. I tell them like, bro, you pay just as much as I do. Go ahead, like I'm not tripping.
yeah,
Then you have other people who be like, the fuck you walking through my camera for, blah blah blah. Like, so I get why people would have anxiety, but again, like you can be the asshole walking to drop the trash off at the corner. You feel me? Like, you know, you just gotta jump in. That's really it.
No, I feel you on that. You know, I have a couple more questions, but like before, like I asked the last few questions, like, is there something maybe I didn't bring up that you want to talk about? Could be anything.
Not really that I can think of. I mean, we kind of touched on, you know, upcoming music and shit.
Oh yeah. What about the upcoming music? When's the next song drop?
I'm gonna drop the song with Key Money. I'm not sure of a date yet. So I'm back to the drum board right now, and it's not in a bad way. Like I said, I've never been able to be just the artist. So, you know, we're kind of reviewing where we want to go, how we want to do it. You know, because my sis Jada, she just got signed, and so now the formula is the formula. Like we understand who, what, when, where, and how. I just got to put the work back in, just like she did. You feel me? So right now we just kind of figuring out, you know, continuing to get that love back fully, but also taking that love and turning it back into the passion now.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, so, you know, I do have that passion back for making music. And yeah, I think I do have a lot of music in the vault. Hopefully if you still doing the freestyle joint, you know, I'll get some on here for you today.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna definitely do that.
Bad. So yeah, I mean, I do got plenty of music still in the vault. But I think the next drop is either gonna be the joint with Key Money. I got this song called Poppin' Shit and another song called Toxic with my homie Young K Beats out in Cali. I fuck with Cali Beats. I rap over a lot of them. I think I'm like one of the only people out here to do that. But yeah, I mean, I got plenty of shit coming. I think I'm more so just taking this time to like get it all together and then get busy for real the right way.
You know, the songs that you release, right? Because I know a lot of artists, like, I've noticed this pattern a lot. It's always the songs that maybe the ones you make that you don't like that everybody tends to like the most. So how do you know which songs to put out?
You don't. When we made Oh My God, he hated it. Hated it. When I laid the hook, he was like, bro, this hook sucks. No, this ain't it. And then we played it for like our roommate at the time. He was like, this is trash. I was like, bro, just trust me. Nobody wanted to listen. And then he finally was like, all right, fuck it, I trust you. Laid the song, put it out. It was on a mixtape at the time called the Black Heart EP. That and the other song, Yellow Buses. And they hit for real, but like we started performing it. And when you start performing regularly, you got to find that set that works for you.
Yeah.
And when we started doing that song, it just caught fire. And it wasn't like we're going to do this song and we're going to plan around it and we're going to make it work. It was like organic as fuck. Like they hated it. And I've had songs before that I didn't like that people just made go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just drop the content, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, whether it's music, just drop it. Because you never know. You never know what's going to be that one.
That's true. I guess it's like a hit or miss type of thing, but it's like one thing my cameraman pushes a lot is like, you just need that one video, that one clip in your situation, that one song.
Like you said, it's a hit or miss. You can't hit if you don't never drop.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, one of the last questions I have is like, this, like I say, is like one of the other like off-topic questions,
bro,
but like,
good,
if the world were to end in an hour, push of a button, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I seen this question the other day. I got two responses, all right? The first one is the right one. I'm going to go to the crib. I'm going to be with my family. I'm going to call my brothers. I'm trying to get everybody together, and we're going to go out together. Now, the real one is, shit, we going to the motherfucking strip club. You feel me? I'm going to see me some titties before I go out. I'm going to be waist deep in some tequila, and I ain't going to feel a thing. And when that motherfucker go out, I'm going to be just like this. Fuck it. We up out of there. You feel me? Like, but truthfully, I'll probably go the first one. I'm, you know, hey, fuck it. I'm going out with the people I care about the most.
You know, what's the craziest drunk story you have? If you feel comfortable sharing. I know there's a few. Everybody has a few.
There's more than a few. Shit. For me, there's hella. I'm trying to think of ones that don't make me look like the asshole. Fuck. All right. So back in the day, we used to go to Harrisonburg and perform and throw parties and shit. And them shits, I don't know if you've ever been in like JMU and shit like that.
I mean, I've been around the area. I've never really been like on foot or anything like that. Yeah.
There's a spot called Aspen Heights, and it's like a student housing. That bitch gets crazy. And one night we was just in there drunk, and fucking, this is a 2-part story because the second part I wasn't there for.
All right.
I was in there drunk, and some dude, like some random ass drunk dude, never met him before in my life, tried to get like crazy with me, and like he's sitting down on like a curb, trying to talk crazy to me, and I lean over, and like he reaches up and tries to swing at me. When he swings, I lean back and I hit him. When I hit him, he sit back up. And one of my white homies at the time came out the cut with like the boot from God, like he was kicking a field goal. And I just remember looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And it just, these niggas just went crazy after that. And then there's another story where my brother, I ain't gonna drop his name, got bear maced. I wasn't there, but everybody's calling me like, he can't see and he's still trying to fight and whoop everybody's ass because he want to know who did it. Can you talk to him? And they put me on the phone. I said, yo, you good? He said, no. I said, I don't know why they called me. What the fuck can I do?
Yeah.
And he proceeded to whoop the ass of whoever bear maced him. So, yeah.
What would just swing you if I was saying it there?
Right. Hey, man, that man's superhuman. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Right,
there's hella stories, but those are the two that stick out right now.
This one, I think this I
you
haven't
can get
asked
as crazy with your questions as you want to, I promise. Nothing's too crazy.
I haven't asked this question since like one of my very first episodes started this podcast. I know this could be a crazy story for some people, or it could be a true love story. Losing virginity. How did that go? Was it love story or was it also crazy shit?
I don't know. The first time was was different shit because she should have been in jail. But the real time, nah, bro. Me and my homie at the time, bro. He met some shorty. I don't even remember where he met her. It might have been like Facebook at the time, like. And they was from the Ville. We was living in the country, and so he was my best friend. So I was with him like every day. Yeah. So we was at his family's like family reunion cookout or something. I ain't even related to him. I'm just there because that's my best friend. Like, he treated me like family. Yeah. So he like, yeah, my shorty finna pull up. She bringing a friend for you. I'm like, all right. So this is the days before like hella social media. So it was like, cool. I didn't even know what she looked like. So they pull up. And hey, first of all, ain't nothing in this world wrong with a BBW. I love my big women for sure.
She was too big.
The Giants need help, baby. So shorty got out the whip, right? And I was like, I mean, she was cool or whatever. But her friend got out. Her friend was all right, but she was thick. So I'm like, all right, I didn't know which one was which. So I'm like, please, Lord. So they come over there. I start talking to the friend. Next thing I know, I'm like on his grandmama back porch sucking on some titties. And then his grandpa come home and catch niggas. So they got to go home. I'm like 14. They got to go home. And like a few days later, his parents went out of town. He used to go to the drag races on Sundays and shit. His dad used to race. So his parents was gone. His little brother was gone. His sister was there. He had an older sister. Yeah. She would be like, look, I'm leaving. They don't even know I'm leaving. Y'all stay out of trouble. So the grandpa from them bought them down again. But you know, I cranked shorty in my homie's closet. Like that. I done fucked in a lot of weird places since then. But that was like, to lose your virginity in a closet on like a clothes hamper was wicked. Like, shit was alright though. Shorty still got a pair of shorts on mine too. That was too long. You need to throw them away. But yeah, nah, that's how that shit went. That shit crazy.
All right, now look, right. You had a chance to get with any person in the world, let's say celebrities. Which one would it be?
I can't say what I want to say because I'm gonna get canceled. And it's not gonna be as funny on here. Who would it be? You gotta go to TikTok. Okay. Shit. I'm just trying to think. That's a tough one because there's a lot of them. All right, I'm gonna give you my top 5.
Top 5,
but it's not in any order. It's just 5. Krishan Rock, because I feel like she be punching on people, so she could probably choke me, and I like that type of shit. Adele, because if she can sing like that, she probably can moan like a motherfucker. I can't tell if he looking at me cutting his eyes like I shouldn't be saying this shit. Fuck, who else? Oh, Lita, who used to be with Matt Hardy and Edge and them. Yeah, see, you know I'm right. Shit, that's 3. Fuck, this is harder than I thought. Oh, Blueface Mama. Blueface Mama can get it.
Jesus Christ.
Who's the last one? Oh, it's this little midget. Or you can't say that. It's this little person who do porn. Bro, she's bad.
Jesus Christ.
But she followed me back on, I think, Instagram. So.
Oh shit! Shoot your shot.
Nah, I'm cool. But nah, yeah, that's 5. That's 5. I got
Jesus Christ, that's the weirdest 5.
Hey man, Hey man,
You know, usually it's like, you know, Beyonce or like Ariana Grande, like the typicals. It started with Christine Rock. So you like a girl that'll abuse you? You into that toxic shit? Jesus.
I ain't into toxic shit. I'm into like, this ain't even the podcast for that. I ain't into toxic shit, but we can get crazy.
Yo, I think I've seen on your Spotify, but weren't you on? You said you were on No Jumper.
Yeah. So this was like back in the beginning, when number one, I was trying to make everything sound bigger than it was, but at the time they had just like they weren't even like big yet.
Yeah.
And like this is in the SoundCloud era, so like you know everybody in the SoundCloud community, like some people knew people, even if they were like way bigger or whatever, and they started doing the live streams where they would like review your music. But this is when it was like 2 people in the room. Like they had one room in the building. It wasn't 10 podcasts on one. So like it was Adam and like House Phone and like maybe some random intern sitting there.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it was like real and authentic. And they used to play my shit all the time. They would even like replay or whatever. They followed me on the gram for like 5-6 years. And then, you know, now they're like on some weird shit. So they unfollowed me. But like, I've been on that platform. This is 50. DJ Smalls, obviously.
I seen that one.
There's been a couple publications. Like I said, I've just been doing this shit for so long. I'll be kind of forgetting a lot of shit. Like I'm gonna be driving home, like, damn, I should have said this. Like, so yeah, I've been all over the place for a while.
It's always like that. It's always like I always finish the interview like, damn, I should have asked that. I should have brought up that.
Right.
Yeah, that's always how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
But you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you a lot for coming on.
I gotta add Sexy Red to my 5, so it's 6, cause she nasty. Sorry.
Yo, I was trying to get her on here, but
that would have been fire.
I was talking to DJ Cartel Sosa. That's like her DJ. You know, I tried offering her a certain amount.
She probably wanted a pretty penny.
He told me that she typically goes for around 5 to 10 for an interview. Which at the time, you know, right now I was like, we're not trying to do that.
I mean, especially like I ain't gonna lie, like you're already like coming up very quickly. Like so as much as it would have been cool, I don't feel like you need it. Like, before too long, when she come back to the city, she's going to be trying to get on here. So, like, fuck that.
So it would have been cool to have her on because I feel like 5K, but she's popping right now.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have got my interview if you got that one. Nigga say, yeah, no, I can't. You know what? I need 5,000 now. I'll be right at the crib on Fortnite, too. But, shit, I mean, like I said, bro, I feel like with the way you going, like, you know, I'm all about showing love, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Like, I seen the setup, and I knew I had to get on here. So, like, the way you're going, staying consistent. This is one of the fastest growing podcasts in the city. So like, shit, before long, she gonna be asking you for the interview.
I appreciate that. And it's like whenever we're moving into the new studio, I think in about probably like a week and a half, maybe even less. We can always do a part 2 out there. It's literally off the street.
Let me know. I'll get my crazy ass answers ready.
For sure.
But you gotta write some crazy questions.
Yeah, I'll prepare some crazy questions. I've just now started to like really like ask more like off topic questions, you know.
Well, I'm not like most of them, but I'll answer anything you ask me.
Yeah, so
it might be a crazy answer than you expected.
Next time I'll do a part 2 just on some chill shit.
Damn, I gotta add Trish Stratus too. That's 7. Fuck. Woo. I was thinking about Lita. Sorry, but yeah, man, for sure. Part 2, I'm with it. Let's do it.
Well, I appreciate you a lot for coming on. I thank you guys a lot for watching. We out later.